science for kindergarten and the up through second grade. I'm one of those who does not believe that kindergarten through second grade especially needs a rigorous science curriculum, but I love teaching science and most students love science and they need some sort of science. So this especially is for homeschool moms with young children, but maybe it could apply some for others. Maybe it could give you some ideas. I love to teach the younger grades, especially to teach them science. Somehow the young children still have this wonder of the world around them. They haven't lost the wonder yet. And that is how I believe it should be. And science is one of the easiest subjects to work in that wonder and curiosity about the world that God has made for us. Some important tips to remember while teaching science. The first one is to keep the joy in learning. Young children should not have to be overburdened. I know they need to learn math and reading and not everything always has to be easy and fun. But science is one place where it is totally fine if they don't have to work through worksheets and worrying about test scores. Because science is learned best when you're starting out just by observing the world. It will stick with them much easier, much better if they see it in real life than just in textbooks. So don't make science something that they hate doing, a curriculum, a subject in school that they hate doing. Rather, just cut back and not do any science. So I will, not do any science curriculum. I will be sharing one curriculum, my favorite curriculum for these younger grades, but it's still nothing too much, and my girls always look forward to it. There are different ways of teaching science. There's so many different ways of showing your children the world around them. You can do hands-on science activities where they work with their own hands. We are watching some seeds sprout lately and grow in a jar, and they are the ones adding the water and opening the seeds, the beans, to see the leaves inside. They are the ones exploring. They are the ones trying to make things, and that is a wonderful way. Using hands-on activities is a wonderful way to teach science. Doing simple science experiments is another wonderful way. I remember I always loved when my teacher would have science experiments, and my girls love it too. One of mine especially would be happy if I would be doing science experiments all day long with her, which of course I don't have the time. But you can do simple experiments. Watch what happens when you mix baking soda and vinegar. Just if you don't know what it is, what will happen, then be ready for a mess. Work on anything else that they can see with their own eyes, simple experiments to see what happens and listen to their conclusions. Make sure that safety comes first. Don't go mixing any kind of chemicals, and don't go testing out flight by jumping off a roof or anything like that. But let your children experiment with things, make messes sometimes even, just to see how things work. Observe nature. Nothing is better than observing nature for learning science. Teach your children to ask questions. How does an eagle float? What makes the difference between living and non-living? Let them observe the world around them, the bugs, the creatures, and count the legs on an insect to see that all insects have 6 legs and all that sort of stuff. Read lots of books about nature. It will teach them things, especially for these younger grades, kindergarten through second grade. Picture books are some of the best ones to explain different processes. Watch science DVDs together. There are some like the Moody Science Classic DVDs, which you can find links to them in the link in my description box, like in my blog article. You can find links to the DVDs. You can buy them, or they're for free on YouTube too. And they teach a lot about the wonder of God's world. Use science worksheets and guides by all means if your children want to. One of mine likes to sometimes do worksheets, and so there's plenty of options. There's curriculums, there's online ones that you can print. Just don't make it something that they have to do by force, because they don't need to be filling out worksheets at this age, not for science at least. There are different things you can teach in science. Teach life science, which is everything living, plants, animals, humans, bacteria, anything that has cells. Watch seeds grow. Watch the butterfly life cycle. Watch anything that has to do with life in general and plants. Or physical science, which is about non-living things. Learning about the planets, the water cycle, the weather patterns, simple machines, how things work, movement, the solar system. My children and I have been studying the stars and the solar system, the planets lately, and the vastness of it all humbles me. And they are being caught up in the wonder of it too. And so, like I said, don't use a science curriculum by force, but if you want one, here I will shortly be showing you my favorite science curriculum for these younger grades. And you can also head over to my article that's linked in the description box to find some more resources for learning science. Any resources that are mentioned in this video would also be linked in that blog article. Okay, let me show you my favorite science curriculum. This is by The Good and the Beautiful. They have 3 different books that work through for kindergarten through 2nd grade is what they have it for normally, though it would work for some older children too. And the younger ones often enjoy it too. I'm not sure how all the other books are, but this level especially, I just have this level so far, but I want to get them all. I think they all include a parent guide and a storybook. So the parent guide has for each lesson, and there's 30 lessons in a book, it has what to do about the lesson. It gives you the instructions, how to go about it, other books you can use, activity supplies, and then each lesson has stuff for you to read and discuss and optional activities that I just love. And every other lesson is you go watch an interesting video that they have on their website about some science thing. It's not very long and I really enjoy them. They're very clear. And then every other lesson you read a story in the storybook. And it's just a really interesting way to watch your children learn the wonder of the world around them. I have found that this is perfect. There's nothing that they have to do. There's discussion questions, but if they don't know the answers, we just discuss it. And usually after our lessons, then we've often gone on walks, and I see how they're looking. Like the day we studied tree bark, and they were going and looking for all the bark along our walk, seeing the different kinds of bark and things like that. So this is a very good science curriculum. I think it's very clear and simple, and it inspires wonder and teaches your children to want to learn more for themselves. Thank you for listening to this video today and watching, and I hope you will be inspired in your science journey with your children, and we'll see you in the next video.